Alright, M54 fanatics, here we are. This is the M54 build, JE 9.5 to 1 compression, forged rods, pistons, ARP bolts, 11 mil all around. What you're looking at right now is Josh's Guru autowerks adapter for the 6HP28. The stand I have wouldn't allow the flywheel to fit on the stand because, well, it's just too brolic. So what I did was I put his plate on using only 2 of the bolts now, so that way the 4 other bolts can still go into the block. I could get it back on the stand, put the cams on, start setting timing and everything else, and then once it comes off, I'll worry about the rest of it, because I got to get the flywheel in, pinned. That's what that little hole is for. You could lock the crank at top dead center. Then put your timing kit tool on, which I'll get to when we get there. But I just wanted to, give you a heads up, let you know that we're back in motion finally after months of headache. After that, we'll keep on pushing because this is the one thing I really need to finish. Alright guys, so I'm using my new Lenovo ThinkPad. I'm not hooked up to the car. That's why this message popped up. However, I did enter the VIN manually because it gives you every single torque spec. It gives you the vehicle readout and everything. So I'm using ISTA because it'll give me operations, measuring devices, torque specs, and everything I need. So it's also great when building a motor, so you know exactly what you need to do and how and what order. So right now, since I'm putting the flywheel on, I'm going to just double check torque specs, Loctite, whatever the case may be. And boom, right there, like I said, I pulled it right up. Tightening torque specs, screws, and everything you need to tighten a flywheel. And that goes for every single inch of any BMW, Mini, or Rolls Royce. Just so we're on the same page here, that's my timing kit. And probably, yeah, that little black thing right there, that's coming through that way to pin the crank so the flywheel don't spin, and it's at TDC. And I could torque it down. As per specs, like you said, for the automatic transmission N54, first is 30 Newton meters, and then the final torquing is 125. Well, now that I'm here, comes the hard part. Getting this fucker back up there by myself. So, my real issue is that my basement's low and I don't have the height I need. So we'll see what I could do to, first I'm going to bolt this onto it. And then somehow try to possibly manipulate the stand just to slide that on. And, I got a little pulley I could probably rig up, and just, I'm very good at creativeness, right, straps, whatever needs to be done. So let me get to it, and I'll get back to you. So as you can see, everything's set up, cleaned, ready to go. Right now I'm cleaning up my exhaust cam tray before installing. It's got the Teflon seals as opposed to the metal ones, which is what you want. Everything is nice and good. I'm gonna wipe everything down nice, and then once I'm done, assembly lube, obviously. If you look closely, the ledges look good. No scarring, no marking, no pitting, nothing of that nature. And you know what? I was worried because it was sitting a while. However, in that groove, I do got some shit. So I'm going to make sure to get that out, get that out, because it's oil operated and you know how that goes. So I'm going to clean the bottom half, then assembly lube, clean the top half, and send it. And I'll get back to you guys in a minute with it. Thank you. Alright, well, I haven't done much more other than clean the top half and pre-lube it. Started dropping in some bolts. The barcode, which currently is not, I'm trying to see if you can, there it is. Currently not where it's supposed to be, which is facing directly upward. It will get there. I'm just dropping a couple of bolts in. I'm going to set up the intake side as well, and then put the timing tool on it so that way it gets where it's got to be. I cleaned, and then I use assembly lube on lobes and bearings, because as you know, these cam ledges don't have bearings. You wear them out, that's it, you're done. I also blew compressed air through all holes and oil galleries going to the Teflon seals, just to make sure no debris. I wiped it down with the blue work towel, and the other thing is again, Insta. It gives you the whole breakdown, top to bottom, no questions asked. So, you ever wonder about something? Let me know. That's what I do. But one thing I don't think I've actually done yet is pull out these vinyls filters. So I'm going to definitely get to that before the end of the night. But then again, I'm on a roll. So before tonight, I think you're going to see a fully built motor with turbos, accessories, and yeah, just about everything ready to go into a car, and then get strapped to the 6 HP 28. So I'd be a lot further along right now than I am, but every time I do something, I ended up going into another area of my house, cleaning and straightening up tools, and not looking at things that were aggravating me because I've had no time to get to them. So, especially this fucking motor, which has been breaking my heart. So, again, this is where we're standing. I'm going to throw the intake side on. As you can see, still pinned at TDC. So, we're ready to go. Says it, right? Alright, well, as you can see, the cam tool's in place. Crank is pinned, top dead center. Barcode's facing up on the cams. Alright, nothing is tightened down yet. As per ISTA, they want you to use a special tool, blah, 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 to hold the cam trays down so that way you don't damage nothing. But we all know, like every other vehicle, if you inch by inch tighten down every bolt in the regular pattern, like every other thing, center outwards, and you do it little by little, you ain't breaking a cam. So, I'm going to get to it. First, I'm going to start off by snugging them up with my Milwaukee electric ratchet, just very slowly, till they touch. Then I'm going to head on to the torque specs. So, stand by. Alright, well, as you can see, I have both cams in. Exhaust is tightened down to 8 Newton meters as per ISTA. For some reason, it boggles my mind. However, they want me to, from outside to the inside, release it a 90-degree turn. So, I guess BMW knows what the fuck they're talking about, right? So, 90 degrees backwards from 8 Newton meters. So, 8 Newton meters from center out. And then a 90-degree turn backwards from outside in. Well, I made sure everything was at 8 Newton meters. And then, like ISTA says, I marked it just because there's lines on the actual cam trays that are 90 degrees apart. And release all screws of bearing strip from outside inwards by 90 degrees. Check position of camshaft 2 at cylinder number 6. Roller cam follower 1 is not actuated. I mean, definitely not actuated. Well, there's a little bit of play in there. I mean, not play, but I can move it back and forth by a finger. Up and down. I mean, it is on. It's not on the bottom side of the lobe. It's on the side. It looks like it's about to open intake. And exhaust is just closed. Intake's about to open, exhaust about to close. 1 and 6 do the same thing, so since they both up at the same time. So it's tight. The screws are loose. Let me keep following the instructions. What am I gonna do? BMW says to do this. All right. So after reading a little more through this Insta thing, there's a separate tool that goes over every single fucking bolt on the camshaft ledge. End of the day, it's 8 Newton meters and 60 degrees. I'm going back to 8 at a 60-degree angle and walking away from that fucking scenario because it makes no sense. None. Holy fucking Christ, what a waste of time that was. I should have just did 8 Newton meters and 60 degrees. Would have been done. I wanted to have this engine with accessories on it already. Whatever. My back's fucking killing me. I started really late, but I'm going to keep going a little bit more. All right. Next up, tying in these two. 8.5 Newton meters. Yeah, I don't think I really got to show you that. It's literally 2 bolts at the top that go to the very top right here. After that, we're going to go over here We're going to tighten the chainrail guides here and there. I'll give you the specs on that when we get to it. 8.5 on the two little baby M6s right there, or whatever they said they are. I think they're E8s. All right, guide rail to cylinder head, 14 Newton meters. I got a nice long bit here because the regular one really just doesn't fit. And I'm not working with a lot of space. Jesus Christ, it's longer than I thought it'd be. Must only had it in a couple threads. Oh, and a heads up, it's a T40. Are we gonna get there one day? I'm about to put the fucking electric ratchet on it just to get it close. Oh, I'm almost there. I can see the backside. There we go. We're gonna start getting tension now. $14. That's what they wanted. Guide rail to crankcase is gonna be $20. That's gonna be that guy at the bottom right here. This one that the plug is still open on. Let's hope I didn't leave it stupid loose again. I know I didn't tighten it, but I didn't think it'd take me 20 minutes to get to it. There we go. All right, 20. We're good. The next thing we're gonna do is I guess we could screw the plugs into the cylinder heads at this point, right? Those are going to go to 25 Newton meters. The plugs are obviously here and here. Yeah, 25 Newton meters. So I'm not going to show you that. Just going to do it. There's another plug here. That goes to something I've already torqued, I've got to say, because I got it from inside the oil pan because it's an external Torx. And I had to put the socket on inside and then run an extension through the hole. This vacuum cover also isn't in-seated yet. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I didn't do it. I'm pretty sure I torqued that down to the right spec, but we'll double check that too. But working up here for now, so let me finish up here and we'll keep it pushing. Maybe because I think it was just dirty, I didn't put that back in and I wanted them to look clean. Again, I bought this whole set right here. Long extensions. And boom. It works great for this shit. Tearing it apart, it doesn't matter. Especially if you blew it up like I did. Alright, well, you see guys where I stand at this point. Obviously, the cam lock is on. Got the cam phases on, or cam gears, whatever you want to call them, along with the reluctant wheels for the cam sensors. They're pinned. This is the plate for the N54 motor. I have a kit that also does the other ones, N51, N52. This does N53, N54. Everything's lined up. Everything's good to go. As of right now, I'm pretty sure my next step is going to be figuring out, one, I'm reusing the tensioner. So I know there's a process to reuse the tensioner, and they want you to bleed out old oil by pumping it 2 times till it's drained and then repeating that again. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'll let you know. As a matter of fact, stand by. The guide rail, the crankcase. Give me a second here, because I'm just going to go through it real quick. And what we're doing here is give me a second to load up, and let's see what we got here. Boom, boom, boom. Bada bang. Special tool. They want you to pre-tension the chain with the special tool. I don't have this special tool that they want you to pre-tension the chain with. So I guess what I'm going to end up doing is pre-tensioning it with the actual tensioner. Number one, I gotta take a quick browse around my box of parts to see where and how I may have left it. So stand by while I head to the BMW domain, because I have enough car parts here to build. What'd you do, you fuck? My friends are breaking my basement. Just push it back up into the hole, please. I don't think I have a tensioner in there. I think my tensioner is actually in a bag on this side. Hold on. Give me a second. Everything's labeled, so it shouldn't be hard to find. Not to mention, I know exactly what the fuck it looks like, but I've labeled every fucking bolt and nut as it came out. Vinyls, gears, compressor bolts, alternator. I mean, I labeled everything. And, yeah, for some reason, I still don't see my tensioner. Those are empty bags that I've already used the parts of. And the best part is that I've had like 10 tensioners. Currently at the moment, it could be hidden in this drawer where more parts, but these were mostly sensitive electronic parts, injectors and whatnot. So injector hold down brackets, things of that nature. And you want to hear the best part of it all is that I was just looking at one earlier, a little while ago, a few minutes ago. I was staring at one. So that's why I'm a little confused as to where she is now, because I knew I was going to need it in the near future. Maybe it's in this drawer where I keep the other BMW stuff. And the very last place it will be is timing gear, chains. I did some cleaning up before. Oh, look, lifters and rockers. More lifters. I've got so much. I've got chains and guides for sale. I got 6 good pistons and rods ready to go. Stock, of course, but in perfect shape. If you wanted to replace rings and bearings, but I don't know where the fuck my tensioner is. Alright. I'm going to pause this video and I'll get back to you once I locate it. Sorry. That was a fail. Alright, guys. So we're back and I got my tensioner. They say if you're reusing a tensioner, basically, they want you to pump it up until the oil's out for some reason. So the oil's already drained out of it. Alright. She's in good shape. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah. 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 That's a tensioner right there for you. Also has a crush washer. Make sure you don't lose that or you'll be leaking. And we're going to use this to pre-tension. So basically, let me go back to my ISTA just so that way I'm not forgetting anything. Install tool, setting, timing number 1. Okay, put the front half tool on, which you already see. Obviously, everybody's got to know that it has, whatchamacallit, fucking dowel pins that go into the reluctor wheels, right? We know this. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to slide this bitch in. What size nut it is, I'm not 100% sure right now. I have a kit right there. It starts at 29. But for some reason, I'm going to have to say it's probably going to be a 27 because the 29 is right next to me, and I'm not lucky like that. However, I also am going to need the specs as well for not only that, but I remember correctly, the camshaft bolts are 30 Newton meters and 60 degrees, I believe. So what we're going to do is go back to this. Chain is tension on it now. Crank is still pinned. Replace the 2 screws. Those are 2 brand new screws, so let's not get it twisted. Rotate wheels until the pins hit where they're ready. Alright. And give me a sec. Tighten the 2 bolts, 2 central bolts. 2 central bolts. There's a couple of different kinds. 1AZ, 2AZ, and 3AZ. 1AZ is Vanos with sensor gear to inlet and exhaust camshafts, which is basically the M54. It's 20 Newton meters and 180 degrees. The non-return is 13 Newton meters, and that's it. And the solenoid valve holder to cylinder head is 10 newton meters. So we're gonna do 20 newton meters and 180 degrees. Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna just snug that with a adjustable wrench for now. I've been going at this all day because I am depressed at the fact I didn't have this car running, like I said, by this summer. Oh, another thing. Remember I mentioned pulling out my vinyl screens? Well, good thing I did, because not only were they dirty, the bull valves were not operating correctly. So I ended up actually pulling a set out of another head I have, because I got 3 heads. So if anybody wants a head, hit me up. They're for sale. They're functional. I have heads, oil pumps, pistons, guides, I mean, fuse boxes, relays, you name it, I got it. All right, I'm just gonna snug it. And then I break out my torque wrench. If you don't know how to use a torque wrench, I'm just using this Quinn from, I guess, wherever, Harbor Freight type shit. But it works because that Regal out there, I put a fucking Vortec heads on a 350, torqued that down with it, seemed to work out great. Not to mention, I've built a couple other motors with it, and I've had no issues. So, as far as torquing goes, it's a very reliable piece of machinery. The only thing I can't figure out about it is how to delete the memories of it, because it has like 9 memory settings. But once you set something, it's like, I don't know how to fucking erase it. So that's something I gotta figure out. We're going at 20 newton meters. Steady beep is when you're at 20. The rapid beeping is when you're getting close. There we go. That's 20 newton meters. And now we got to do a full 180 degrees, which I have no problem with, considering this was 100 newton meters and then a full 360. That was some fucking work. Let's scroll down to functions. And of course, see, it starts flashing on me because the memory is full and I don't know how to delete it. So this is the one problem I have when I try to get down to the angle section of it all. And I've learned that I push 2 buttons and sometimes it comes back and I'm able to set something up. But I'm not quite sure what 2 buttons I push all the time. It's either arrow and power, or function and power, or down and power, or function and M mode. I mean, whatever I push, or maybe it's all 3. But if it just keeps flashing like that, I just put a fucking flathead in it, loosen the battery, and start over. Love to know where the fuck flathead went. Because it's getting to that time of the day where, you know, if you don't lose your mind, then are you even doing it right? right? You always set it on a level table, turn it on, let it calibrate itself. I just pushed, there we go. Now I'm in angle modes, memory 6. I could adjust it. And we're going to do 180 degrees. You would not be able to do this without a tension on the chain and without the crank pinned. You would skip gears and fuck shit up. So, do it the right way. And, if I fuck it up, well then, let's see what happens. 180 going around. You want to keep it smooth and consistent as possible. And you just want it to never snap. Because who wants to drill a fucking bolt out of a camshaft after going this far on a motor? Almost there. 120. 130. Hey, shit gets hard, bro. I can't do it no more. I'm at 168. I gotta reset myself. But at least it stays where you left off. So 170. 180. Intake camshaft is now set and timed. I did do 20 Newton meters on the exhaust side, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Oh, yeah, you did 20 on both.
Yeah, I did 20 on both. Just double checking. Oh, yeah, and I always hit M. It says full, but that's the way I start over again. Otherwise, it would keep reading degrees. I'm going to try to get a high pull so that way I could do it in one stroke. And it doesn't look like I'm doing it because I made it to 138. And that's 78 Newton meters. $180 degrees. With that being said, timing is set. Reluctant wheels are set. Oh, another fun fact. I was cleaning one of my reluctant wheels and noticed it had a dent and a bend in it. Good thing I have 3 other vinyl gears. So I just pulled another reluctant wheel because that would have sent out intake, exhaust codes, and all types of other shit. You would have been chasing your ass thinking your timing's off when there was a dimple in the fucking plate. So I'm going to stop us there and get back with you. Alright, well, as you could see, aluminum Mickey Mouse flange on, intake, exhaust vinyls. Motor is timed. Everything, torque to spec. Even got the crank seal guard on. All the plugs are in. Everything's going very good. I'm working hard and late. I don't even know what fucking time it is no more. What time is it?
137.
1:37. And I ain't stopping. I ain't stopping till... I ain't stopping. Why stop now? I don't see a reason to. So... by the time I post this shit, you're going to see a fully built motor. Unless I fall on my face and sleep down here on the basement floor. 4:21 in the morning, got the gal, my boy, my bro right here, no bullshit. And we're building. We got...
You tightened this shit down?
That can't, don't worry about that. I'll take, I already did this here. These weren't loose.
Oh yeah, but you tighten, when you tighten this bar down,
I didn't
It's
tighten
not-
any of that. No, you got to put the bolts into here, cuz.
You can't put them in.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Of course you can.
All right, watch this.
All right, watch. I'll show you in a second. But anyway, let me get back to it. I got my girl tightening down the valve cover gasket. Mickey Mouse flange in, valve timing cover. Everything's done. Seal, crank seal protectors in. Oil filter housing. We got the base plate under there done. Fuel rail is in. All the injectors are in. New seals, decouplers. Let's hope they all are up to par. I got more in hand. I keep breaking my fucking light. That's a different story because, well, basement sucks. But I wanted to have turbos on. Unfortunately, I started way too late for turbos. But it looks like an engine. It's got the 6 HP 28 conversion base plate on her. It's got the BMP plate on her. You know, a couple more things, then she's ready to run. I'm not worried about it. And y'all should be.